It's time to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum.
How dare you!
Well, hello there guys, and welcome to the channel. Good morning to everybody. Hope you are doing absolutely fantastic. I have a ton of points to put up in arena still, so that is exactly where we are headed. What's up, Adrian? What's up, Trey Gaines, Shortsy, Mr. Petro, James, Astro, Ghostwalker, Beer Khan, everyone else. What up? Ooh, look at that! I still have these guys. Perfecto. Let's get them in then. Ain't gonna lie, I'm a bit knackered today, but you know, we need to finish this up. Why do you still have 3k units? Well, they're gonna be burned today. They shall be burned, don't you worry. I am, however, at 112 million. What's up, Lucas? How are you doing? Can I use White Max pre-fight on 6.3 Nick Fury boss fight? Does it say debuff immune or stun immune? If it says debuff immune, yeah, you should be able to.
I am inevitable.
How many units have I spent? Not too many. I did spend some. I didn't count exactly though. I reckon about, I don't know. I did spend some though. It's not unitless grind anymore. But I didn't spend as much as I normally would because I was refreshing 5 stars. So it took longer time, but cost less. Constantly going back and forth. If I do not like 10 gems. Well, here's the thing. I personally find the game to be a lot more enjoyable, quicker, and fun with them on. Therefore, whenever I do have the chance, I do have them on. I turn them off during war seasons, for most part, and put them on maybe like once a week, or like a 2-day period, or when I grind for feature champions. In general, during war seasons, I have them off for most part, but I have them on for all the off seasons. He's debuff immune. Yeah, then White Max should work. It was awful today. Sorry to hear that. I think it's gonna be quite hot here today as well. And 712 rounds in already. We have a lot of points still to put up. Come on, boys. Wonderful. Discovery key and game content war and IQ. A wide diverse team. It does narrow it somewhat, but it is really not as bad as most people think it is, because as far as casual questing, cav EQ stuff and things like that go, you can still get away with using champions that are completely incompatible with Liquid Courage and Double Edge for a handful of fights, because it doesn't make a difference whether you finish a quest with 100% health or whether you finish it with like 30% health. Like, I still end up using Dr. Doom when I need to, or Human Torch when I need to, and stuff like that. Champions that are not good with them when I'm running those masteries. It's just I can't use them for every single fight kind of thing. You get me? Come on, big incinerate. Oh, Professor X with ouchies is very hard, but you can kind of play him. I know it's really, really incompatible. Like, Carnage and Professor X are some of the worst champions to play with ouchie masteries. But even then, you kind of can get away with it. It's not the same thing anymore. It's not nowhere near as fun, but you kind of get away with it. In general, I do find it worth it, though. Because you can do everything so much quicker and it just feels lighter, more pleasant, if you will. I don't think there is anybody that can realistically reach 150 without units. Without using units, and overdoing it, my limit, and that is grinding quite hard, would be like 125 to 130. And that would be if I stay up a bit longer to grind out my 5 stars the 3rd time a day. Without grinding my 5 stars 3 times a day, just grinding my 6 stars and 5 stars 7 times total, I can get about 114 million without boost and stuff. And if I grind out my 5 stars 3rd time a day, then it would be 130 to 130, something like that. So I don't think there's anybody who can really reach 150, or hardly anyone who can reach 150 without units. And if they can, that's still a ton of grinding. On my Sunday? Well, I just got up on Sunday. So far, there hasn't been much of Sunday. And where can I search for Alliance? Yes, Adrian, if you ask Jacob or JJ, I'm sure they can sort you out with some line chats. Yeah, well, obviously there are downsides to using Liquid Courage Double Edge Recoil. Hey, what's up, Kabam Tippet? How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hope you are well. But I'm actually running 9 out of 10. It's not the same thing though. It's not the same thing. Hey, what's up, JJ? How are you doing? What, Kabam Tipped? What kind of tipped tips you can give us directly from Kabam? If you tipped from Kabam. Alright. So Krishna, she's definitely worth it. Yeah, I agree. I think it's definitely worth it. And Professor X also slaps for 1 fight, or 2 fights at most. Yeah, Ankit's about right there, yeah. You can get past that, but then you have to grind like a megalomaniac. What is megalomaniac? I made a boo-boo in this fight. Okay though. I'm gonna give him that fury, so I can get him in the corner and smack him up. I think with Power Wish Professor X could work insane. Yeah, that might work actually. That might work, Mr. Taylor. But Mr. Sill, how are you doing? Do you think channel has been padded a lot with streams? It's called go to channel reduced it. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I'm like very dumb when it comes to algorithms and YouTube stuff and things like that. Any news on next month events? Not as far as we know. I got Kabam earlier today and opened 1 cow crystal as you do and pulled 6-star storm. Nice, congratulations, man. Perfect. It's a perfect way to get well, to celebrate becoming cav. Can you tell us when Miles buff is? Okay, in that case, I'm gonna ask you a different thing, Mr. Kabam Tippet. Then on, yeah, I will later, whatever, leave me alone. So we do know that we have America Chavez and Hercules coming next month, and we do know that Hercules is gonna be the first champion of the month. My question to you is, which one do you like more, personally? Like, assuming that you have had chance to play with both champions. America Chavez or Hercules. Which one did you enjoy more? You don't need to tell abilities or things that we don't know about them, just tell which one you like more. Summer of Pain week 9 is gonna make us miserable. Challenge accepted. I don't get intimidated. I'm gonna smash it through within the first couple of hours. Just you wait, guys. You wait till week 9 of Summer of Pain. I have this confident / borderline arrogant belief is that if I can't push through a piece of content, then hardly anybody will be able to, and then the content is clearly gonna be like, well, wrong or made poorly. So I'm confident enough in myself to think that I can tackle pretty much anything they will throw at us, because if I can't do it, then there's gonna be such a huge shitstorm everywhere around the community, because most people will not be able to do it. I know it's a bit arrogant, but confident, I don't know. Yeah, Diablo buff is quite cool looking. My only worry is Diablo has a really low base attack. As in, Diablo with 8 of his pre-fight charges will have less attack than Dr. Doom has on its base. Because if you notice, at rank 5 star he only has like 2000 something as base attack. And, well, let me show you an example. So he had like 2082 base attack or something, right, as a rank 5 star. And you take a look at Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom's base attack is 2978. So even Diablo, like fully ramped up with 8 charges, would have less attack than Dr. Doom has on its base. And it's not like Dr. Doom is the hardest slapper in the block, you know. So we'll see how he does. Being community choice, Hercules placing chorus as #1 Cosmic. Well, I do. Cosmic really does need some help. Cosmic is in a very sad state right now. Very excited for Kirk. Animations look very cool. Hey, I'll be grinding for him probably. I'm gonna ask if KT wants to get on call, but Jacob's here. It's alright. These morning streams aren't like too big, so I don't really need much help. Ooh, Generis in a morning stream. That is a unicorn moment indeed. What's up, man? How are you doing? How much do I plan? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It definitely will be more than 130 million. How much more kind of depends on how much I can be bothered or how safe I will feel at the point. Or you mean how much to do for Hercules? Same, 130 plus probably. But it's too early to tell. We're gonna need to see the reactions on him and how good or bad he is and stuff like that. answer to watch. If I don't have an answer to which champion can counter in the first 5-10 minutes. Yeah. Well, okay, let's go to Hakuna Matatas. Come on, be deadish. Whew, lucky. What class is Chavez? I think Chavez is Cosmic as well. Should be at least. I believe. It's not very weird, Diablo. That pre-fight ability. Basically, you have 3... It's kind of like Guillotine with Digisouls. If you don't use them, you gain bonuses. If you use them, you gain different abilities. So, basically with Diablo's pre-fight ability, you have 3 pre-fight abilities. You can use up to all 3 of them for every single fight. If you choose not to, then for every pre-fight ability that you didn't use, you gain 2 charges with a maximum of 8 charges, which each increase your attack and stuff like that. So for initial fight, you basically want to not use them in order to ramp him up quicker, basically. Or use only 1 pre-fight for first 2 fights, and then he's gonna be fully ramped, and then you can start using all 3 of them. Hercules might go equally high as Overseer. Well, we don't know how high Overseer is going, so... Overseer might be a flop.
Shut up and take my money.
Growler 64, Oz $5. I stand above all.
Well, alright then, Growler. Let's have you stand above all. What did Krishna ask? Leave it to him to ask her. Well, I think the 7.3 is planned to go live in October, so typically the beta is 2 to 3 months before, most likely, so that'll be October, September, August or July. August probably.
$2. You know what this is about, I hope?
You know what this is about, I hope? 64. Oh, is it? It is about sandwiches. I think. No? Is it about sandwiches? Why can never anything be about sandwiches? I miss goddamn good summies. But thank you very much, guys, and thank you, Growler. I'm quite sure that everybody's gonna get the 3-star Hercules next month because yeah, it's a community choice champ. They have recently been giving out those 3 stars, and even if they don't, everybody can go and grab him anyways. But I think everybody's gonna get the 3-star Hercules sent to them. Come on, tip. That's long as you. Any tips for 6.3 Havoc? Yes, there is a guide for 6.3. But, well, it depends which champions you're using. If you're asking me which are the better champions to use against that Havoc, then people who have done it with Ghost, Warlock is decent, Colossus with Omega Red synergy can smash away that fight quite quickly. I'm sure actually Vulture should do quite well there. And, you know, there's a bunch of tech champions now that should be able to do that fight quite well. Keys, a large amount of damage. The longer the fight goes, the worse it gets. Oh, whoops. Whoops. SOP Week 9 should be fun. I'm sure it will be. I'm sure it will be. Look forward to it. The only thing that I'm worried about, I'm not worried about anything and everything that is gonna be released in Summer of Pain, as in fights themselves. The only thing that I'm worried about is that somebody's gonna have the moronic idea of some brutal solo objective like that Kabam Mike's Revenge and crap like that. That was something that was just sadistic and a joke taken far too far and had nothing to do with playing well. It just had everything to do with throwing revives like in a slot machine, basically. So that is my own. In regards of Summer of Pain, I have been liking it so far, and I'm sure I'm gonna like the fights themselves, because whoever's making them seems to be doing a good job. The only legitimate worry I think I have, and most people should have, is if any of those solo objectives is just gonna be something ridiculously silly. And like, I don't mind hard, I don't mind trying and practicing a fight for 3 hours or 5 hours to get used to it and get decent at it. But like in Collector fight, I could have practiced Collector for 89 days and it would still take like 20 something revives. So yeah, that is the only thing that I really hope we can avoid this time. I hope we never see stuff like that again. Like also those 4-star Labyrinth challenges outside of Canadian one, they just, whoever made them clearly hasn't done them themselves, is all I want to say, or clearly hasn't have to farm revives and resources to do it, and you could feel it. You could really feel it. No person who plays the game themselves and use their own resource and time would want to do that. So there you go. Overall, I do like Summer of Pain. Love a chicken sandwich right about now. I know, I'd love a chicken sandwich, man. I'd really love a chicken sandwich today. I might order a chicken sandwich after the stream. I might order it. Lawrence, Saber. Well, the Saber Labyrinth run I actually kind of liked. This wasn't too bad. Like, yes, there was that mandatory entry gate revive cost associated to it, but it at the very least was fairly quick and fun. Yeah, because that Saber challenge again, like Saber challenge you could do it in like another 2 hours. The other ones, Star-Lord and Inhuman ones, it took like 5 hours and a whole heap of revives, no matter how well you play, just because you couldn't do enough damage because of enraged damage. How do I do it with Ghost? Because I have failed with Guilty in 29.9. With Ghost, you kind of just phase when Saber explodes. You need food synergy.
My fav streams till 4th.
But Guillotine 2099 should be able to do it as well. Thinking about of iHulk with Energize plus Recovery, AR immunity, Range 16 immunity, and it's all over the 4-star. I don't think they will make a requirement to solo any of those fights. But hey, would be fun. What is the best path for Professor X in Abyss? I'm not sure. Don't remind me of Collector, you have to do it today or tomorrow. Get it done, man, get it done. Pay your toll. Care about him and give away. Yeah, that's not unfair worry. I'm not entirely in the loop with what the objectives look like for SOP yet. Partially responsible for Karina stuff though, so I'll take that feedback. That's fine. The Karina stuff, like, ultimately, I loved the idea, because I like the idea that it doesn't take huge amount of development time, like you don't have to design new pieces of content. And I also like the idea of like strolling back down the memory lane. But yeah, like the 3 challenges really, again, that Collector one and Inhuman and Star-Lord Labyrinth ones, they're just miserable, really were. 3 of them are like super light, breezy, easy. 3 of them I think would be, well, 2-3 of them would be called like perfectly balanced, where it would take like hour and a half or an hour and a handful of revives most likely. But yeah, those are just horrible. It's not that and from one side it kind of felt good to finally get rid of my stash, but I didn't feel as if though I'm being beaten in a fight that I'm losing. I felt that I'm basically paying for an offer more so than doing a challenge with Collector, for instance. Because it was literally just tossing revives down the toilet. It felt like pay this amount of revives to get these rewards, rather than actually do a challenging fight. But hey, I am very, very, very hopeful to see more of them though, and hopefully the next ones are better, you know? Yeah, Inhumans one is long, but with team revives you could do it relatively cheap, yes. Summer of Pain's Perfect Wish, there was monthly throwing for the season. Yeah, I like Gauntlet though. Whoever worked on Gauntlet, I really liked. I really liked Gauntlet. I think that is cool. So I took up Roll Cover Human Torch for rank 3 because too many torches. Hey, you take who you like. Besides, it's not like you can't take up the champion later. It's not like you can't take up torch. War too interesting? Very interesting. Hey, what's up, Henach? How are you doing? Yeah, 3 challenges in love was probably excessive. I think the collector one was... fight was too bad personally. I didn't think... yeah, well, it really was. It really was. Well, at the very least, I think it was too bad. Especially because, like, you're locked on the Cyclopses, you still need to... like, that challenge, I liked to make my way up there with that Cyclops. Like, I liked the idea that you have to get the perfect Bane transfers. That bit I find skillful. I actually, like, enjoyed using that Cyclops to get there, but I think the challenge should have ended once you land a blow on Collector or something like that. I think that challenge, like, because getting to Collector was like already like an hour something plus, and it was getting to Collector with Cyclops was harder than 2-3 other challenges. And yeah, I think that is the point where there should have been a cutoff, like deal 10% damage to Collector with Cyclops or something like that. I think there was no need to demand 20 plus revives from players for that one fight where you just die. But that's just me. What do I know? Off to bed? Oh, good night, guys. Sabertooth Love Challenge was alright, yes. Sabertooth Love Challenge was alright. I actually enjoyed that one. Like, a lot of stuff. I didn't think that there is a lot of stuff this summer though. I thought that we have like Summer of Pain and that's gonna be pretty much it till October. We don't know about any other bigger piece of content dropping. I mean, like, I'm sure there's gonna be like July 4th sales and maybe that's 3-month summoner calendar and stuff like that. But content wise, as far as I'm aware anyways, for like, we're not getting new story mode or new variant or anything that we really know till October. So I think that, yeah, I don't know. Either way, I'd love to see more of those Karina challenges. Didn't like them a lot. I finished them in like, what, under 48 hours as well. Yeah, I finished them in under 48 hours. Yeah, with any 3-star, obviously the collector fight is well doable. I have done Act 5 completion runs using only 3-star champions. And that collector was like 3 or 4 revives, I think. Or even less than that, because I was using like Ghost with Hood, and Hood could phase the level 3s. So, sorry, Ghost could phase level 3s, and yeah, with 3-star Ghost it was actually like cheap. How much do I score in one run of 6 stars and 5 stars? About 16.5, 17 million. I think it is, yeah, it kind of depends how I arrange my champions and the other things, but yeah, it's about 16.5 to 17 million. I'm doing 4-star challenge for LoL, trying to have the rank of champions. Yeah, like I did Labyrinth with, I think, Colossus, and like 7 revives as a 4-star. That was well fun, by the way. Like Colossus full synergy team, obviously, but yeah, it took me like 7 revives. And with Star-Lord it took like 59. So yeah. And I think also another problem with that Star-Lord run was that you can only bring Star-Lord because previously, at the very least, you could synergize that Star-Lord up and he was dealing significantly more damage. Like when we initially run Labyrinth of Legends with like 4 stars or 5-star rank 3 Star-Lord, stuff like that. Yeah, like timer was still the same, but before you could like give that mutant crit theme and stuff like that, and it still let him do significantly more damage. So this time that run was worse than anybody ever had, more or less. But again, overall, I did like those Korean challenges, and I think it's a brilliant idea. I think it is one of the better ideas Kabam has had in a while. Because we get to revisit content and kind of get more use out of something that's already done. And devs get to satisfy the needs and desires of top-tier players without investing too much development time. So I think it's one of the more clever things Kabam has done in recent year or so. Maybe I'm overblowing the content release this summer, but yeah, Summer of Pain should be interesting. Well, I hope it is. Hope it is. Yeah, July 4 offers will be coming out on July 2nd. I don't work for Kabam, but I can promise you that. Because July 4th falls on Sunday, and there ain't no way in hell they will release them just on Sunday. How do you reparry? I have a video on how to reparry. If you type in reparry KT1, you will have a guide on it. Got a boss solo today. Nice, congrats. I just did my Alliance War fights as well. Oh, it was a spicy moment, or a couple, to be honest. I did some fight. I had to do some fights that I didn't feel overly confident in with, though. But I didn't do many fights. There were some dodgy ones. About resource management, how often we could run into these challenges. Yeah, that would be quite helpful, no? Yeah, Kabam did up our space. Loot bag has arrived. Why, thank you, Henrix. Now I just need...
Take my money.
Hendrix G $9.99. Loot bag has arrived.
Now I just need another 2 loot bags, 5 wallets, 3 briefcases, 3 Black Panther chests, and 3 more vaults in a week. And we're good. Nearly there. I'm joking. But thank you very much, Kabam. Thinking about telling you whenever I see you next time. Yesterday, whenever you all introduce 7 stars, well, border black and brown. We can... Yeah, Karina is a strong tool. We recognize that for sure. Not saying we went with a perfect design philosophy, but I think it helps us to serve the endgame group with that. Yeah, exactly. That's why I like them so much. Like, just purely from, like, I could appreciate the thought process behind it, and I can imagine in some meeting or some group, somebody borderline had eureka moment when somebody was just like, I know what we're gonna do. And yeah, I feel better about Korean challenges because I know that it is a significant minority who wants them and needs them to keep the game interesting. But at the same time, like, I don't feel bad for taking something away from lower tier players because I realize that it didn't take too much of an investment, if that makes sense. So I myself was feeling kind of more emboldened to push those pieces of content and maybe in some regard refute the criticisms that some people, oh, there are no Cavalier challenges and stuff like that. It's like, well, you motherfucker have a lot of content like still to do, so get that done and then you're gonna get to these, like. And anyways, I do like the green challenges as an idea for sure, and I like most of the challenges. That there are those 3 that I think were quite awful though. I think those 3 were, yeah, I think those 3 had much more to do with ability to farm or pay or get rid of your stash than an actual challenge. Those 3 things felt much more like an offer than a challenge. And perhaps the biggest point of criticism, you surely could have given a better profile picture. Even this arena with Overseer had better profile pictures than green challenges. Worked so hard to get them all done in under 48 hours. And I got a profile picture of a Loki. And they changed that Vulture synergy with Sentry and replaced it. I think that they said that it was an error. I think that was a mistake. You feel that Doom's value usage has diminished a bit? Fuck right off. Oh, I see I touched a nerve there. Diminish a bit now latest. No, not really. I still think he's as important and influential as ever. 2-star abyss? Sure. If 2 stars get like 9,000% attack increase. Whoa. I mean, my guess for the next volume is Act 7. Variants maybe Road to the Labyrinth. I think Road to the Labyrinth would be a really cool untapped place. I have done Road to the Labyrinth 100% with like 3-star champions in past as well. It'd be very interesting to go back there. Give me a clear picture next time. Oh, I think I touched a nerve there. Surprised by any of the unique counters people are finding Summer of Pain? Yeah. Have you been surprised by any of the weird champion options in Summer of Pain? Like, did you expect Sunspot, for instance, to be MVP against this Mr. Sinister? Or were you guys thinking, like, well, shit, did not see that one coming? Because Sunspot, like, fits it pretty much perfectly. Oh, crap. Whoopsies. Are we sure this is Tippet for sure? I do not know. But... hey. Like, ask him to... what? Fax you his ID? Tom Hiddleston picture would have been better, yeah. I think I have a slight feeling that we are like, since I touched the nerve there, that Kabam Tippet was the one who picked that profile picture. Doom also is a better purpose. Symbiote Supreme. I'm not sure. I use Doom because I don't have Symbiote Supreme that's as highly ranked. But I'm not 100% sure. Not 100% sure. I have been thinking about taking my Punch at rank 5 for funsies and awakening him. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I suspect you did. I suspect you did. Judging by the fact that this is the first and only time I have seen any Kabam employee swear into response to somebody or something, then I suspect that it was you. Which, by the way, I'm perfectly fine with. I have a bit of a potty mouth myself, so not that I encourage others to, but fine. Grind never stops. Yeah, grind never stops. I think Overseer, well, we're gonna see where Overseer cutoff is. Some black lighting. How are you doing? I think there's some hate for you would hate though. Like, I can 100% promise you. Like, Quake is like my favorite champion. But I can 100% promise you, if I was working on this game, I would hate Quake so much. I can promise you. As a player, I love Quake. As a content creator, I also understand that not releasing a 6-star Quake is probably the best thing for this game. Because without Quake, we would arguably have a better game. But I would hate Quake if I was working on this game. In fact, if I had any power, whoever designed Quake, I would have, like, I don't know, sacked or bullied, or I would, whoever designed Quake, if that guy is still working there, I would bring that up every single time. Like, do you know how much money you have lost us? And crap like that. Like, I love Quake, and I'm very good with her because she's so broken OP. But, yeah, if I was designing any given piece of content, I would just ban Quake flat out. I'd be like, Quake not allowed here. Which is an interesting idea, I think. Kabam could entertain in some game modes where, when you release a game mode, just have a ban list. Like, I used to play TCG games, like I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff like that, and we always had like a rotating ban list. Per season, every like 6 months, champions are banned. So Kabam possibly could do something similar, where those champions are banned in story content or in alliance and content or something like that, or just ban champions for a specific piece of content. Because like there is no point in playing this. Like, what's the best way to describe it? I think it would be a lot more stand-up and upfront way to communicate with your player base, to let people know exactly like what's happening on, than giving armor break to every cosmic champion.
Godzilla strike.
Godzilla strike. Alright, well, thank you very much, Growler. Thank you very much. But yeah, I think, like, for instance, Ghost is clearly a problem, right? I have heard, I think, about John saying that it is no coincidence that every cosmic champion has armor break for like last 2 years. And I can understand that, but I think it would just make more sense to, yeah, it's like, okay, you can't use Ghost for this piece of content. I don't know, but I think it just would be like taking problems straight on rather than trying to go around it. Read my last name. I'll try. Give me a second. But thank you, Growler, by the way. Quake is a nightmare. Of course it is. Wait, go on tip. It is someone. Yes. I'm sure it's a big board in Kabam with a photo of Quake on a dartboard. Yeah, probably. I can imagine people throwing darts at Quake. Close uncollected. My team is 5-star rank 4 Clairvoyant, 5-star rank 4 Warlock, 4-star AA, a 5-star rank 3 Black Widow Delusions, and a Magneto. Can it get done? Yes, you can get it done. You can get it done. Also, if you start struggling in 524, I have videos specifically on how to deal with masochism in 524. No sane person can tell me Quake isn't unhealthy for game balance. Yeah, I know. Quake is the forcible option to do things in this game otherwise. Yeah, true. I don't know. I don't think the same people design Quake and Ghost. What's up, Shrawan? How are you doing? Okay. Why Quake was never nerfed like so many others? Because there would be a riot. Because Quake was actually, when Quake was released, she was bugged for a really long time and she did significantly smaller amount of damage. Quake only rose to prominence shortly after she was fixed, after like a year and a half, and majority of the people didn't even realize she was bugged. And that was significantly after 12.0. I'm sure 100% if it existed pre 12.0 world, they would have had taken some action on Quake, but it wasn't a thing then. So that's why she was saved then. And I think if they just flat out went out and nerfed Quake, there would be like a huge riot. Either Quake or Ghost. I played Ghost a lot, so Quake. Okay. It's quite obvious it's one of those two. Telling that. Okay, got my suggestions for champs counter. The minis map 7. Got any suggestions? Counter minis? Which minis are you talking about? Which minis are you talking about? Honestly, it has undone everything those cosmic champs done with armor break. Not quite. Some, yes, not all, definitely. Your hot date went well, very good for you. Say hi to your mom again. You get to pop your cherry? Went thrifting to a comic store, then dope lunch, talked about anime and comics, and then Invincible all day. Said hi to my sister for you as well. Very good. Very good. Happy for you, Trey. Oh yeah, that synergy I liked. I think it's a cool synergy. I think it's very cool synergy. Buff Joe fix it? Eventually, I'm sure. That is one of the most annoying things. Honestly, that's currently one of my personal biggest gripes with Kabam. Is that all 6 of OG Avengers have not been buffed. Which I just can't understand why. And nor is like Superior Iron Man and Groot and stuff like that. Like, how is Diablo a higher priority target for buff than Iron Man or OG Cap America or Hawkeye or stuff like that? It's like, I really don't understand. Every month that goes by, and the most loved Marvel characters, I'm not talking about MCOC, most loved Marvel characters remain to be absolute doo-doos in this game. More and more people get pissed off. Like, at this point, previously it was exciting. Like 4 or 5 months ago, it was exciting to wait the news to see which champions gonna get buffed. And now it's just frustrating because you expect the champions that everybody wants to get buffed not to get buffed. And the choices seem like more and more random. So, I don't know. Yeah, there's Sentries, Superior Iron Man, like, well, all 6 of the OG Avengers. And like, so many like really huge Marvel characters that are absolutely awful in this game. But we buffed Diablo, who's like hardly anybody has heard of. Maybe like huge Fantastic Four fans. People unfortunately think that anything that benefits players can't be. Yeah, I know. I know. Been a year, they should just. Well, some would understand. There would still be massive outrage. As in, like, Hood got buffed and people got outraged because Fate Seal got taken away. Do you think people would understand? Do you really think people would understand? You might. I might. People won't. Wonder if I should rank up, rank 5 4 stars. I would not recommend that. I think 4 stars unfortunately take the same catalyst as 6-star champions do. There's literally no point in investing anything in 4 stars at all. I wish Kabam gave out more like rank up gems and like monthly events and side event quests and stuff like that for 4 stars, because they're pointless. Like for me, like 4 stars are action figures. I would like to have some of them ranked up for funsies, but I never want to use a single catalyst on a 4 star that I can use in a 6 star. It just doesn't make sense. They didn't add a 6. They will not. Well, that I don't think that's gonna happen, my man. I don't think that's gonna happen, Stall Ghost. Popping cherries when you walked. Well, sure, once first date. Hey, what's up, Arman? How are you doing? Everyone, we get some units every week on our accounts, roughly equivalent to what the ring granny would give us, but that's it. It's still kind of a neat deal. I'd take that. I would happily substitute the ring grinding for, you know, deposit. No, but I do think it is like needed and it is cool, and I suspect that quite a lot of people don't really play remotely seriously. But that's just a suspicion there. Major. Yeah, well, yeah, Diablo is like a side villain, and that's what I'm saying. That's I don't understand. Hey, what's up, William? How are you doing? Yeah, who was your first rank 3? Angela. Interesting. I don't have a 6-star Angela, by the way. I don't know how, I don't know why, but no 6-star Angela. Surfer level 45. Nice, 9.8k to 10.2. Getting there. Passing the 10k mark. Pulled 5-star magic. Congratulations. 5-star magic. Yeah, where is the 6-star magic? That's another bone to pick. Where's my 6-star magic? Oh, I can't wait for this arena grind to be over though. Can't wait for this arena grind to be over. CGI overrated but better than Angela, I'd say. Probably. Possibly. Did you miss anything important? Nope, not a damn thing. Okay. Still have so many points to put up. Where's 6-star Hyperion? That too. I have huge cosmic roster, but I duped Angel from 6-star pull, so I finally pulled the trigger. 3 months sitting on that cosmic cat. I was, well, since I have been playing for like a very long amount of time, I have been quite happy to always have had plenty of choice. Pick who I rank. Rank 3 hella fastest time, you say? Quite sure, like, is it the fastest one? I never really follow those records, I find them a bit silly, but... Cool. Cool, good for hella. I think you can get it faster than he did. Boost up suicides and better team. Quite sure you can do it faster, Cosmic Ghost right there. By the way, Mr. Tippett, has been very nice talking to you. I think this isn't the first time somebody from Kabam is on my stream, but this is certainly the most amount of talking somebody from Kabam has done on my stream. I suspect that my channel isn't exactly on the must-watch list or something like that in Kabam, so thanks. Okay, so we have a whole bunch of 5 stars left. Then at some point I need to start refreshing again. Oh, that? Yeah, it is very annoying. I have pulled about 7, 8 champions that are SIG 200 at this point as 6 stars. And I understand that sounds like you know, total whale problem, but it feels so bad that pulling a 4-star champion effectively is better for your account than duping a max SIG 6-star. As in, like, duping the max SIG 4-star is better. So immediately at that point, once your crystal lands on a max SIG 6-star champion, you have exchanged that crystal for a 4-star crystal. Just worse, because at least 4-star dupe gives you 5-star shards. But just getting that ISO is yeah. That is right. Yeah, your channel is known for a very positive opinion of our war. Want to hear player opinions, positive or negative? Well, I do. Here's the thing. I do have a lot of positive things about Kabam as well, but you can't escape other side of it either. I personally do think that if I do like something, I never hesitate to point that out. I have been loving Grandmaster's Gauntlet. I have said it. I have called it to be one of the best pieces of content. I like Karina's challenges. I am very enthusiastic about the game. And when I do criticize these things, I don't do it just because I want to be mean to somebody. Or, in fact, that doesn't become a thing at all. If I criticize something, is that because I want the game to do well. I want the game to do bigger, because if the game is bigger, runs smoother, more people play it, it's better for me. It should be mutually beneficial relationship. But then again, there are some things that seem just so baffling that I genuinely just can't say nothing. So, I don't know. But ultimately, I do recognize that I have a bit too big of a potty mouth at times. But then again, I just have a big potty mouth. That is also true. I can make positive videos, and not as many people are interested in that. When I say something that's critical, then more people. Like, I can make 20 videos, of whom 2 will be negative, and somebody is gonna post a comment like, why you always attack them, or why do you moan or complain all the time. It's like, dude, I've uploaded like 20 videos, of whom like 10% have been negative, but people tend to stick with that more. But hey, it is what it is. What's up, Alec Brown? 7.2 is super fun. 7.2 is arguably one of the most fun pieces of content. I think I did like Grandmaster's Gauntlet more because it was like more challenging and stuff. And it was like, in my opinion, like a really, really great endgame piece of content. The health pools were not too big. The fights were, except the Korg fight. Korg fight I did not like because there was a node that specifically said put a shock debuff on Korg in order to reduce the block damage, basically. And Korg is freaking shocking me. So I did not like that. I think that was again so. But in general, I loved Grandmaster's Gauntlet. And yeah, and 7.2 also. I am dead worried about relics though. I must be honest. I'm like already with 1 foot out of MCOC if relics go bust. I am terrified about relics in this game. And I know Kabam wanted to bring relics like 4 or 5 times, and every single time there was a huge pushback. I think right now there is like a unique circumstance where majority of content creators are like in CCP and stuff like that, and this is pretty much one of the only times relics could have been pushed through, and obviously it's happening. And I do understand that it is either 7 stars relics or nothing and the game dies, but on a personal note, I would prefer the devil that I know over the devil that I don't know, and relics scared the shit out of me, knowing some of the aggressive monetization practices, knowing the fact that we still have gifting event, which awards more for top rank rewards than half a year tier 1 wars at a time. So things like that absolutely terrify me, and relics definitely make me shit my bed. Oh, you're in charge of relics. Okay, so well, obviously, like, let's start. We do have common understanding on the relic system, and I don't. The only thing that I don't know about relic system is how strikers are gonna work with it, and I don't know too much about striker mechanic because apparently it's associated with relics. But the way relics are presented right now, it is that it is going to be the new chase item for most part. And the biggest issue there is the power level that the relics will require, because ultimately I really would love to avoid the situation where acquiring champion is just like step 1 of having that champion be optimal and be looked at usable. Like today, for instance, I'm grinding for Overseer right now, but that's only half of equation. In case of Overseer, my needs of the champion, I would need to get him awakened and then rank him up. Some champions don't need that awaken ability, so that's helpful. But the way I see relics, like, one of the first things about them is that it would more than likely be a situation where acquiring champion now wouldn't be half of the equation, it would be third of the equation at best. Because getting a champion will mean very little if you want to get the most out of it. Because then you're gonna need to awaken it, then you're gonna need to get the relic, and then you're gonna need to get that relic, I don't know, whatever mechanics it's gonna have, like, to imbue it with, you know, customize, modify, and whatever else. And acquiring champions in this game is already not easy, especially quickly. And what's the best way to put it? It is already taking as much that people have to grind for them if they want to get them. So I don't expect, or I don't think arenas for relics would be viable unless they would exist in the same arena. So that automatically means that relics will, well, how are you going to acquire relics? That is one of the bigger problems. How are you going to acquire relics? Because champion acquisition without spending huge amounts of money is already a relatively sour subject. And then on top of that is relic acquisition. You physically cannot put relics in arena type of environment because there's just not enough time in the day. I am doing MCOC YouTube, but like even I couldn't do any more that I'm doing right now. Well, that's how it is. That's what Relic is going to be. It's additional layer above Awakening ability. So now getting the champion means less. So now it means that there has to be a lot more circumstances to, well, go right for you to actually get to that champion to peak of its abilities, which is what you want. Which is, if you want to be competitive, you have to. If you want to use those champions in like tier 1 wars, and like if you're going to be fighting against other champions who are like powerful, but if you want to compete in any setting at all, or use the champion at the best of abilities, you're going to have to get it maxed. And people, Kabam's very fortunate that in this game, people will do everything without stopping. Like, Kabam is fortunate in a position where people are expecting July 4th deals, already have credit cards waiting. People want to throw money at you if they feel it's a good value. And it's obviously going to be the same thing with relics. But that also causes problems for when people feel that they have to. If people feel that they have to throw their money to get that relic or something. So I think the biggest, well, relics can be meaningless. They have to mean something if they're going to be the next chase item. They can't be overpowered, or they can't be mandatory, or if they are, then they need to be relatively accessible with X amount of work but some sort of guarantee. They can't be thrown in the same RNG system as champions are. It's the same thing as like, okay, so you spin a crystal, let's assume it's a 6-sided dice. You spin a crystal once to get a champion, right? What is the chance of you awakening that same champion? It goes exponentially higher. It's 136, right? And what would be a chance of you, assuming similar, the same odds, to get the right relic for that champion, let's say? So if you spin it, and that is just with a variable of 6, right? So you spin a dice once, it's 1 out of 6 that you're gonna get the champion you want. And then when you spin the dice next time, statistically it would be 1 out of 32 that with 2 spins you get to awaken the champion. Which, like, obviously is not likely gonna be the case. And then on top of it would be the 3rd spin now, if it is some sort of RNG system, to get the relic for a champion, which is already borderline impossible. And that's just with a variable of 6. So that alone in this game, like, that's why I think relics can work in other games, and I'm not so sure in this game, because this game has been made, created, and designed around the idea that champions are valuable, very, very valuable and hard to acquire. And then having a system where relics are valuable and hard to acquire exponentially increases the effort needed to have best case scenario. And obviously then the biggest fear is obviously how heavily it is going to be monetized as well. If relics are something that you can get guaranteed by completing solo objectives, milestones, or piece of content, and then occasional offer here and there, sure. If there is ever such a thing as a Relic Cavalier Crystal, at that point I would be out. At that point I would be immediately out. If it would be, here is infinite opportunity of getting relics just as long as you have money, I'd be out. Because at that point I can barely compete. Well, it's not easy to compete no matter how dedicated or active I am with people who have more money than I have. It's just a fact. Somebody can spend 10,000 on greater gifting crystals, keep them for a year, and open whenever they need catalysts, and it's impossible. I have completed every single piece of content immediately. I do spend significant amount of money, and I have teammates who have double the amount, who have like 50 rank 3 6 stars. I just cannot compete with that. I have accepted that, because you know what? Fine, he has more champions rank 3, but I can still do all the same things, and it's fine. But if relics push that issue any further, at that point I'm out. That's just it. I have given this game as much as I have, and there is nothing else to give. And if it requires anything more from me to remain competitive, I'm done with it. And that is my fear with relics. Try to treat them as a character-specific masteries and have the resources that you would use to enhance. Now, I understand that idea, but again, masteries. But when you put in perspective, Dr. Voodoo or Man-Thing or I know New Black Widow, for instance, is completely different champion with and without Mystic Dispersion, right? Because that mastery is huge. Or Nick Fury. Nick Fury's bleed triples its damage output from the light hits if you have max deep wounds. Those are two completely different categories of damage and capabilities based on whether you have or not. What if the top end is capped? Let's say imagine a scenario where PhD exists, but you can earn a 4-star per month from a specific mode. That would depend on the relics themselves. Because, okay, let me... Like, if ultimately, let's say, there is a PHC with 15 relics in, valued from 2 to 4-star relics, and I can earn a 4-star relic every month. And then ultimately along the way there are some other opportunities to earn some tidbits here and there. And then you obviously have your... Next month you have your featured relic, whatever. Okay, I guess where I'm getting at it, if there is no such thing as the idea or need for duping, and those relics actually... So long as you got the relic, whether you earned it or whether you have pulled it from crystal 30 times and it remains the same, then yeah. But if there is additional benefit of having ability to acquire that relic multiple times, like it is now with champions and sigstones and things like that, then no. Because in 1 month I can play, and let's say I would probably open a few crystals, I can earn that 4-star relic. But at the same time, somebody can just whip the crystals as long as they want till they have significantly more powerful version of the same relic that I got, because they would be acquiring it multiple times, like it happens as champions now. I can grind for Overseer, right? If I really, let's say you release another Dr. Doom and I desperately want it. And even with this arena, if I want to go for dupe, I need to find out another £200 of real money to be able to refresh. Because I can't put up those scores without units. So I could get Overseer Awakened, but I can't get him super high sig, right? And that is already like a significantly hard thing to do. So, if you're talking about acquisition itself, then yeah, I could find it probably tolerable. But because eventually I know that if somebody keeps pulling on like the same relics and stuff like that, I'd probably catch up. But if there's a significant additional value of pulling those relics multiple amounts of time, I also realize, like right now, for instance, I might not have much less 6 stars than a really huge spender teammate of mine. So number-wise, we're similar. I have like 144 6 stars, and a guy who spends thousands in my alliance has 170 something 6 stars, or 160 something. So that's a relatively compatible amount. But half of my 6 stars are on duped or low sig, and most of his 6 stars are duped and high sig. So there is still that discrepancy, maybe not of the, what do you put it, width, but height. So it has to be, you have to be really careful with that. I cannot stress this enough. You have to be really careful with that. Because right now the game is stretched already to where there are 3 different games basically in it. There are people who never spend, there are people who play it very, very hard and spend occasionally, and then there are just ultra rich where you can't do anything. And whether this game lives or dies depends whether you can sell the idea that with hard work you can excel. Alright, hypothetically, what if dupes were treated as a generic resource? Where, if not about specific pull, you upgrade a generic resource from, say, selling a relic. Yeah, no, that kind of way, I think that is one of the only ways how it would succeed. Where people with more money can be more experimental and can upgrade more relics and have more champions fully prepped up. And people with less resources how to be a lot more selective in which relics and which champions they invest in. Because that would, well, relatively mirror the situation. Like, my alliance mate can take up 50 rank 3 champions rank 3 and sig up more of them than I can. But that's fine, because I don't need all 50 of them. I have like 20 something, and I still do all the content and I'm fine with it. It's just that I realize that whenever I rank up or invest in a champion, I need to think it over more carefully, and I've allowed less mistakes, and I need to be more selective with my investments than a teammate of mine. Just like how somebody who plays in a lower level than me can't hypothetically rank 3 a fun champion. Like, for instance, I ranked up Immortal Hulk just because I liked him. I took Immortal Hulk to rank 3 just because I find him fun. I had a spare catalyst, I took him fun. I don't take those things too lightly. But those are the type of things that people who have 1, 2, 3, 4 rank 3, 6 stars can't really do. With that, I think that is a very reasonable and feasible way of that, where money gives you more choice, but not higher potential, if that makes sense. Because that always more or less has been the case, where with money, where with spending a ton, you can be more like elective. You can just pick and choose wherever you want to invest. Because that realistically is the same thing right now. Somebody buys all the catalyst offers and stuff like that, they're going to be able to rank up more champions than I can. And that's fine, so long as we're not talking about the very highest, like, progression level. That's how I more or less have always wished Kabam spending would be, where spending more in this game would not necessarily propel you higher, but would give you a bigger base to work with. And I think the game would have been in a much better place if that were a thing, where you don't initially, at the very least, for first year, for instance, you don't sell tier 6 basic catalyst, but you put them in content. Then after a year, fine. But or at the very least, don't put tier 6 and basics and tier 3 behind RNG. For instance, the offer that was 2 days ago, that offer really infuriated me, because previous offers, okay, they were shit offers and they were extortion. At least they were guarantees. This yesterday's or 2-day offer, 2 days ago, those Ascendant bundles. You were gambling on highest resources in the game with limited entries, which is, I suppose, okay, but at the same time, you did not only have to spend money, you also had to get lucky. So, that offer, that offer definitely infuriated me. Personally, I am very sympathetic to free-to-play. I generally don't spend a lot on games, so I try to keep that experience in mind when designing. And well, that's very good. It's not, yeah, I do agree. Overall, as a whole, Marvel has done quite a good job compared to plenty of other games. 100% agree. They have definitely made a fair amount of mistakes as well, but it could be worse, for sure. But yeah, I think here's once again, like the idea. So I personally have always believed that beating content and actually playing the game should be the first and most important and the only way to get higher in the game. Spending money should let you grow the width, the options, the fanciness or whatever. It's kind of like the only way you can build new stories, new floors on your house is when you beat content and when you actually play the game and when you put in your time. And then when it comes to actually decorating your house and putting in all the cool furniture and stuff like that, that comes to spending. That is how I have personally always hoped more of these gacha games would be. Making a video on best bleeder in skill class by the Blade Nick and Ronin buff. We're gonna see who is the best bleeder in skill class. Look at that. Still plenty of 5-star champions. Yeah, this new arena system I got shafted as well. When it comes to units, I was best off in the old arena system before any changes were made at all. But compared to this, even before the milestone changes, I was better off than now. Like, I get less units than ever now, basically. More or less, in an average kind of circumstance. But I understand that, yeah. You had to pick a group of players who to kind of shaft over a bit with these arena changes. So, it's fine. I'll take this one on the chin. I do understand that I'm in minority. But I do also think that with these milestones, it can't exist in this form for a really long amount of time. It will have to be changed at some point. Can I do 1992 to 1997 Korean Challenge 5-star rank 4 Duke Tool? No, because... Oh, 5-star rank 4? Yeah, you can. Yeah, I think I'm quite sure mediocre player that you should be fine. Most recent ring system change as an adjustment from the Shang-Chi area milestones. Well, I don't think I need to talk here too much. You can't make it better for every single group. You couldn't make it better for me, and at the same time better for somebody who has 1/3 of a roster than I have. For perspective, I have like 170 or something, or 185 stars and 144 6-stars. Somebody had to be worse off. In the Shang-Chi arena system, people with the smallest accounts were worse off. In this arena system, comparatively, people with smaller accounts are better off. People with mid-tier accounts are about the same, and people with accounts that have a lot of 6 stars are worse off than before. Because like right now, assuming I only grind the featured 6-star arena, I get less units for it than I did in Shang-Chi arena. Just purely on that basis, for instance. I don't have time to grind Summoner Trials when I grind for a featured 6-star. I get less units now than I did when I was grinding for Shang-Chi. So like in my case... that is less. Oh, even pre-Shang-Chi, I was better off. I was best off in the old system because the first couple of milestones I could always grab. You only had to do like 2 to 3 to something fights to get like even like I don't know 2-star arena. I only had to do 2 rounds to get first 2 milestones for 10 units. Right? I could always do that. I could always squeeze in 2 rounds. And then I could squeeze in 2 rounds for like every single arena until I get you know, first couple of milestones. So back then, even when I was grinding for milestones, when it was featured 5-star arena, I was better off than I was now or in Shang-Chi milestones. So that was the best for me, unit-wise. Because I could always get first 2 milestones, always, no matter what I was doing. And still get some extra units from the other arenas. Now, well, you can't really do that. You need to grind more. Even on the initial ones. And in Shang-Chi ones, when we had 16.5 million milestone, when we had 16.5 million milestone, when I was grinding for featured 6-star at that point, because I did grind for Shang-Chi, I was getting more units than I do now as well, because there were more milestone and more resources were allocated in the 6-star arena itself. And now I get less units than ever, because I don't have those small arenas where I can grind in 1 or 2 rounds to get some units, and I get less units than I did in those ones. Like, you understand? And yeah, I am, like, on a personal level, unit-wise, I'm pretty much worse off than I ever have been in these arenas. But I understand why I did it, because people, yeah, as you say there, people with... smaller rosters are better off, and so yeah, again, it's not that I'm super happy about it, but I understand you couldn't have made, without giving away a lot more, you couldn't have made it better for everyone. And another thing that really annoys me though, that really does, I don't know, it just feels weird, wrong, unnatural, and annoying, is the 6-star points in featured basic arena. With longer cooldown time, like, then take out the 6 stars at all. Apparently there's some sort of rule that if you can earn a 6-star, you should be able to use a 6-star, but just break that rule. Just take out 6 stars from that arena. It would quite literally help you accomplish the goals that you were trying to do. It would help the people with smaller accounts who don't have many 6 stars. And it would just make it like a lot more clear in cutoffs and things like that. I don't like the 6-star point arena in the... I don't know, it just feels weird, unnatural with different cutoffs, and I don't know. I'm not a fan of that at all. I think just take out the 6 stars from that arena then altogether. Why is Kabam not banning players who do business 2-star? Don't worry, they will. They can't ban anybody. Like, how do you think crime works, or how do you think breaking rules work? Do you think that whenever you, I don't know, do something illegal, whenever you speed, you immediately go to jail or immediately get sent fine? No. It takes time to process, it takes time to find who you are, it takes time to send you a ticket. Yeah, well, I don't know, I think it would go better with player base, because then when you grind for a 5-star, you could feel as if though you can pick up some milestones in the 6-star arena, thus get some more units. Like, you know what I mean? Because now, you're in a weird spot where your 6-star champions aren't worth as much as 5-stars for the grind, because they refresh slower, and you can get more runs in with the 5-stars. So 6-star seems like a waste. But you still think about needing to put as many points up as able with your roster, right? So you feel kind of that you need to use your 6-stars in that arena, but your 6-stars feel shit because they're overshadowed by 5-stars. But you still want to run them as and when you can. And at the same time, like, you don't even really want or think or feel free to use them in that 6-star featured arena to grab those milestones. You know what you know? Like, if I was grinding, for instance, now for 6-star basic, I would still be using my 6-stars because I want to put up as many points as I can as quickly as I can. And I would be ignoring 6-star featured arena. But if 6-stars were not allowed in the 6-star basic arena, I would feel more comfortable with having less points in the grind. And at the same time, I might not run the entire milestone system, but I would 100% go and grab first 5, 6, 7, 8 milestones, or however milestone, like, I don't know, halfway, like 6, 7 points in the 6-star featured arena, because I couldn't use 6-stars in the basic arena, and I would have no better use of it. And yeah, and it would be a lot more clear about how many points who can put up and things like that. So I don't know, it really just feels odd. It just feels weird. No, I do understand, like, I don't know, like, there are plenty of people out there who have a count that's half the size of mine and who have more ranked up 5-stars, for instance, because I have long stopped up ranking 5-stars. So yeah, I do get it that 5-stars do feel outdated, but it's just leaving the 6-stars in this arena kind of felt like boneless decision, where you understand that there is a problem, but people are afraid to do what's need to be done, so you're kind of trying to find a weak middle ground. Because, like, effectively, you kind of have taken 6-stars out anyways, just not completely. You have, like, barely left that gap in the door. You know, you can use 6-stars, but you don't get any more points. Like, the entire idea of 6-stars are that they are superior, they give more points, then you can grind faster, and they help you and stuff like that. And that has been taken away. So they are in the arena, but they feel like shell of themselves, or they feel less than what they should be. So I think, like, because taking out 6-stars, like, why are you afraid to take out 6-stars? Is it because of the name, or because of what? Because the idea about 6-stars is, yes, that you use them, you get more points, they are harder to acquire, they are better. Like, they mean more. They help you more. Except they don't. Like, in that arena, 5-star is literally more valuable than a 6-star. So you say you didn't want to take out the 6-stars, but you did take out the 6-stars. You just left like an empty, shriveled shell. You made a raisin out of a grape and left that in. You didn't want to take the grape out, but you turned the grape into raisin and pretend that it's still there. It's not, though. It's a different thing. Yeah, controversial question to Kabam tipped. Chorus or CGR? And yeah, as a result of this change, for instance, I don't even want to try. I don't even want to try to grind the basic arena, just because I have no clue how much grind it would be required to put up the points that are in there, and it just feels unpleasant. I really, really don't want to grind basic arena because it feels weird and I don't like it. Yeah, it's between rock and a hard place, between rules that we set internally and logic. But we're at the point where maybe we're basically creating rules where you can earn a 6-star, but the best way to earn that 6-star is by using 5 stars. I understand, and I do understand, but here's the thing: you had the way I look at it, you have these internal rules, which would be one rule that could have been broken or changed, and it would be fine. It would have made more sense. But instead of that, the choice was to change 7 other rules just to make that one work. Because as a rule, I assume that you have a rule that 6 stars give more points than 5 stars, as they are more valuable. As a rule, I assume that 6 stars in game should be more valuable. Like they have attack bonus in Act 7 and stuff like that. All of these things you broke just not to break that one other rule. So, what's the difference? Why is that one rule that much important than 6 other things that you look at as rules or consider to be self-evident and normal and as things should be? Like, it would be weird if 5-star champions would get attack increase in Act 7 and 6 stars don't, right? It wouldn't feel right.
Shut up and take my money.
I claw MCOC 5 Danish krona.
McCock. Thank you very much for 5 Danish krona. Thank you very much, Aklomata. But yeah, so I don't know. It just feels disjointed. It's how it feels. It really does feel disjointed. I need to check out on your question, I think, Aklomako. If you had sent a question, don't let me check it out. No, I don't see one, but hey, thank you. This problem that existed for milestones, if we allowed 6 stars high point scoring option, milestones had to move up. I understand. I genuinely do understand that. 100%. All I'm saying is that... okay, how about this, right? You took the milestones from featured 4-star arena, didn't you? Where you couldn't use 6 stars before anyways. Right? So, I'd say, if anything, what would have made more sense is to have the milestones at 9 million instead of 12, but give 4 stars their original points back. Or 7.5 and 8 million, something like that. Because this 4 million milestone is taken from arena where 6-star heroes were not allowed to begin with. My question is before my super chat. Okay, sorry, didn't see that. I'll check it out again. So why didn't you just go for like 7, 8, 9 million milestone, but allow 6 stars the normal points? Has there never been an official Canadian tag in game? It's weird. I I believe there has. I'm quite sure I've seen prior screenshots where there was hashtag Canada or hashtag Canadian tag in there. I also believe that in one of the updates it got purposely or accidentally removed. I'm not sure. Or maybe I could be making it up. I know for a fact that Aunt May has Canadian tag. I'm going to show you now. Aunt May does have it. In game, I think it used to be there, but it's gone missing. So if you go to champion info, I think there should be Canadian tag. Here we go, Canada. So these are the Canadian champions. So there you go. But in game, I think it was in there, but it's not anymore. And the solution could have been to remove 6 stars entirely. Exactly. You took the milestones from Arena that had no 6 stars to begin with in that. The 4 million milestones was in featured 4-star Arena, where you could use 3, 4, and 5 stars, I believe. So I think if you wanted to allow 6 stars in it, then give them the normal points and put the milestones slightly higher. Or even 12 million milestone. Even that would make more sense, I think. Or take 6 stars out if you want to keep the 4 million milestones. I think that would be a more simpler solution and would raise less problems and would make it a lot less awkward for everyone. Because there are a lot of small things that stem out of this change as well, where you can use the 6 stars, but you don't get more points from it. What's the best way to put it? It does increase the cutoff in a sense that, imagine if you just gave, in a previous arena where you can only use 5 stars, imagine if you gave everybody additional 50, 60, 75 stars. Your grind time would increase. The amount of points that you feel inclined you have to put up increases. So allowing 6 stars in there also increases the strain on players because you have more champions that you can use there. For a relatively undesired champion, the idea is you grind as much as you can without refreshing for like the bigger accounts. But if you allow more champions in there, you're kind of telling them to grind more. So having the 6 stars in there also increases the effort required from the players and drives the cutoff higher. Like the cutoffs would 100% be lower if 6 stars would not be allowed in there. And what is the other thing? The other thing it throws everything off balance in a things that when you grind for featured champions, you have habits. Like when I grind for a featured 6 star, I know that the most important thing is to make sure I'm never a minute late grinding out my 6 star champions. So when I grind for a champion, I have this kind of rhythm. I wake up, I know that I need to grind 6 stars then I can get to 5 stars, and then like again 5 stars will refresh before 6 stars anyways, and then when 6 stars are coming off from the cooldown, I'm starting to grind them again. With keeping 6 stars in that arena, but making 5 stars more interesting, valuable, and needed, because they can refresh up to 3 times, the smartest thing is to focus on 5 stars before and treat 6 stars as something that as and when if you have time type of thing. So it even changed the routine or the way that you ought to grind if you want to be the most effective. Which is again just another layer of confusion, which I think could have been totally avoided and was unnecessary. Because yeah, if I were, like for instance, this morning, I woke up at set amount of time knowing my 6 stars are refreshing, and I have to start grinding them immediately. And that is the same thing that I always do when I grind for a featured 6 star. If I were to grind for a featured 5 star now, I would have to grind my 5 star champions first, so I can easier squeeze in 3 full runs with my 5 stars. And that would be much more important than having perfect timing on 6 stars. Like, you know what I mean? So it changes the entire routine of somebody who actually grinds. So, and I'm not meaning this in kind of overly negative, critical way. It's like, I'm sure you have people that also how to sign off on anything that you do, and there quite literally was no perfect solution. Fully recognize that. It's just, I think there are fair few things that might have slipped under the radar with these changes, which are not great. And yeah, on a personal level for me, yeah, I'm definitely not a fan of whatever was changed. I can understand why it was changed, but I'm not a fan of them. No, I would love to have him on a podcast, but I'm sure he has better things to do. I'm actually going to be doing a KT time later today. Does Abomination need to be awakened? Not really, no. No. You can rank unawakened Abomination. Good. Are you East, West, North, or South, Fall, Trafford? How about none of your business, Trafford? How about none of your business, huh? And are you trying to find me with a drone or something? Last KT if you can. Okay, Astro, let's try and find it. This completion question. Aegon and Horseman. Or Professor X with his team. I haven't done... Well, you asked me a question. Well, I have done it with Aegon and the rest of the Horsemen. I have not done it with Professor X. Which is better? Probably depends how well you play with Professor X. Very late, so probably not later today. But yeah, and I wasn't implying it as later today. I was just kind of reminding myself. And yeah, no, if you do want to, I would gladly have you. We do them every Sunday at about 7 p.m. GMT, more or less, or 7 to 8 p.m. GMT. So it is what is Central Standard Time then? Is it like 10, 12? I think it's 12 Central Standard Time, something like that. Do I think Hercules will live up to the hype? Well, I don't think there is much hype for him yet, because nobody has seen abilities fully, so I will not answer that question. Because I have no clue. I think he probably... I think there is a good chance that he is going to be a decent champion. But then again, I would have bet $1,000 on the idea that Purgatory is going to be a decently good champion. But it turns out Purgatory is 2 cents better than Super Scroll. So, am I a living prophet? Yes. Of course I am. How's your Venom Full so high? Yeah, almost all my 5 stars are rank 3. I only have like 10 or 15 champions that are not 5 star rank 3. I also have like Groot at rank 3 and stuff like that. It's just when level up events are on, I just rank stuff. What did Eric ask there? Right, so we're actually nearly done. I only have this round and one more, and then we're done. I can open some arena crystals, hoping for some units. I need as many units as I can get. Need as many units as I can get. Taking all rank 3 can prove you ready for all 5 star creation. Yeah, why not? Do you remember the time when the duck was on the rise? Yes, I do. Venom the Duck was loved by everybody who hadn't started Act 6. Venom the Duck was forgotten by everybody who had dipped their toes in Act 6. Have I refreshed yet? A tiny bit, yes. A teeny tiny bit I have. Did you read the message from Lawrence about the charms? No. I was gonna get some lucky charms delivered to Amazon Locker, but want to be inconvenient side. Loudly Outlet, Lawrence. If there should be some Amazon Lockers on nearby. I'm very, very close to Loudly Outlet. But yeah, that would work. I can walk to Loudly in like 4 minutes. But yeah, it definitely was an absolute blast. I must say this has probably been the single best conversation I have had with any person on Kabam's payroll. So, hey, as far as I'm concerned, Mr. Tippett over here, it's alright. Thanks for popping in. But yeah. Last round of arena on the stream. Then we're gonna open a couple of, well, we're gonna open a few Grandmaster crystals, I guess, and oh, here comes the game lag. Gonna open a few Grandmaster crystals and arena crystals, as many as I have. Sig 200 cycle. Most of the old champions that I have are Sig 200 as 5 stars. Because you know. As you know. The Reddit and forums can be hard to get discussion going properly. I find digging the people's thoughts on stream chats like this. Yeah, I avoid forums. I really do. Forums have several major issues. Starting with the White Knights, where like it's literally impossible to discuss anything without somebody trying to derail that thread and nitpick on the smallest thing, and then just take it to complete obscene direction. And whether you like to admit it or not, there's quite a lot of censorship. I hope and I think you don't have to do like forum moderating and stuff like that, but there are so many crazy stories. I just don't go close to Kabam forums. I post like twice a year on Kabam forums. Hey, what's up, Doc? By the way, how are you doing? Right, so let's pop something. Can you explain these 24 crystals? Oh, that is very easy. It's just every hour they let you have a new, well, you can open a new cow crystal, but they're just cow crystals. Just save your units. That is quite literally Kabam trying to get rid of your units before July 4th. So just stay away from them. Look, my question to you is, do you buy cow crystals normally? If you don't, then don't start now. Okay, anyways, let's open some arena stuff. How many? 71, so I'm gonna open 60k battle chips. Here we go. Many units. Many units. So if you don't buy cow crystals on a regular day, don't start now. They're just regular cow crystals. It's just they offer you a ton of different ones. The section below special 3 description. What type? On Sunday's ability list is the very bottom. Can you make sense of what they're trying to say? Can give it a go. Come on! 15 units from 60,000 battle chips. That's bullshit. Okay, let's open. Blame Kabam Tippet. He brings me bad luck. Why can't I buy 5 crystals? What the flip? Whatever. I can buy 10, but not 5. All 3 stars? Ooh, a single 5 star. 9 3 stars, another 5 star. That unit RNG is disturbing. Yeah, I know. It hurt a bit. I did hurt a bit. What is this? Is this new? No, it's way too pricey. Okay, you want me to take a look at Sentry. Where is that flying million sun power light bulb? Science, 6 stars. Here you go. Every time you open them, it's pain. Yeah. I have one opening. When that Thronebreaker Arena Crystals just came out, I had like 3 million battle chips, and I got a ton of units, man. I got so lucky in that. Special 3. There's nothing there. When health is below 50%, Sentry consumes 1 reality warp to heal. Okay, that's it. Like, there's... Like, what's the problem? Damn, Sentry packing so many abilities. Yeah, quite a lot. Anyways, that is it for today. Huge thank you to Growler64 for being the Comrade Daddy on the stream. Also, huge thank you to Kabam Tippet for popping in and actually staying pretty much the entire stream. Definitely enjoyed the visit and the conversation. Please do feel free to come by anytime. Always welcome. And I shall be back later on today on KT time. I'm not sure if there's going to be much else going on today, but stay tuned for that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream as well, and see you soon. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the... Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the...
I'm in danger!
Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the...